preventing stagnation of chakra, energy, chi flow in order to manifest your goals and desires. Uh, so you can look at this from a uh, dualistic perspective in the sense that you have the balance between your negative and positive polarities, right? Negative thoughts, feminine energy, flow, emotion, as opposed to practicality and logic. So you have this common theme of oscillating and constantly jumping from one uh, form of consciousness or awareness to the other, right? As being the positive and negative feminine and masculine polarities. So, with that in mind, if you feel like a lot of the times you have a somewhat of a spark to want to do something, um, it's very important that you keep any form of um, movement of flow in this case, right? So, for example, you have an idea that you want to start a new hobby or a new task, or you have a goal or a dream that you want to, for example, be we'll say a famous drummer or like a a content creator, and you put out different forms of drum beats or you know music that we could use any instrument as an example, but we'll stick with this one for now. So let's say you have this dream, you have this inspiration, you have this spark, creativity and desire, and then all of a sudden you have this limiting thought that just creeps in, just comes in as a form of like resistance. It's almost like like a rock in the flow of your energy or your attention, right? So when that happens, you have to realize that everything begins with a single step, right? They say that Rome wasn't built in a day, or 1,000 miles begins with a single step, type of mentality, right? You get the ball rolling. If you use an example of an avalanche, for example, you get one piece of snow moving down the hill, and then eventually it accumulates and builds and uh, right expands to a large amount, and then you get the result, which is like a strong wave of power, right, and progression, right? So um, the idea is you want to be able to balance your feminine and masculine energies by always being in a state of flow, right? So if you have uh, an action in one direction, but then you feel like there's a limitation or there's a stop there, you have to be able to defer or step into the opposite polarity, or become more emotive, more passive, more, in this case, if we use the example of elements, more water as opposed to more fire, right? So, um, when you do that, you're in a constant flow, and your chi is constantly flowing, right? Your inner energy, your essence, your spirit is constantly progressing. So, when you take that example of drumming, for example, you have a specific goal of what you want to accomplish, right? You want to become this drummer, but let's say you haven't really started anything yet, but you have this such a grandiose, high level goal that you don't really have any specific, uh, plans or any course of action of how to get there. So what you have to do in this situation is you have to realize that any action towards that goal, whether it be even a spoken word or a certain note that you set for yourself that I'm going to do this thing, and it doesn't have to be exactly pertaining to the final goal, to the outcome of that intention. So uh, what you do is you say like, okay, what can I do right now at this very moment within all the accumulation of my resources at this given time and space, and what can I do with that uh, to be able to take any steps in order to plant a seed into my subconscious mind, right? Because the subconscious mind works for you automatically. Like you don't have to be conscious or aware of it. You don't have to physically control any aspect of it because it's almost automatic, right? So if you plant that seed, if you get that ball rolling, if you plant the momentum, right? All you have to do is make one step, one affirmation, and then make an action. Uh, you know, as a result of that affirmation, right? As a result of that thing that you accepted that you want to do. Um, and when you do that step, when you take that action, uh, it you don't have to be conscious or aware of any impulses in the future or any um, you don't have to generate the same intention every single time because once you act on that once, your subconscious mind already does the rest, right? This is your higher spirit, right? Your calling, and even if you don't believe in any of these higher guided spirits or anything like that, or or the energy of the universe, or the the spirits, or magic, any of this of these manifestation lingo, you have to realize that from a scientific perspective as well, if our brain acknowledges that something is happening, whether it's imagined or real, it can't make a distinction. It doesn't know the difference between what's real and what isn't real. So the benefits that you gain from feeling that emotion, right? Like many spiritual gurus talk about this, you feel as if you already have the thing you want, and then you envision yourself already having it. You feel what it would be like to do, not only to have the end goal, but also to feel that as the first step of going towards that goal, what it feels like, and you feel it as if you've already achieved the goal, because the most important thing is that you're in a constant flow and movement of energy. Many people set a goal for themselves that they see themselves achieving 20, 30 years down the line. They live their entire life trying to achieve this goal, and many don't even reach it. But even if you do reach it, that's when you learn the lesson that actually uh, it doesn't really have the effect you expect it to have, because really it's all about being in the present moment. And when you achieve it, you realize the only thing left now is to do something different, right? Or to build upon that uh, goal in some way. So if you realize that you already have the thing that you're intending to manifest in the future, if you come from the space of knowing and trusting that this thing is already yours, right? Just by letting it go, letting your subconscious do the work, letting yourself be guided by spirits, uh, then you'll realize that everything connects to each other, right? You'll experience more opportunities, more of these synchronistic events, and everything is going to lead to a higher place of awareness and a higher place of energy and consciousness, right? So you'll feel better, right? What that means, you'll be able to create everything that you want in a much more ready fashion, right? You'll be able to control more of um, what you intend to do with your mind or with your body. And then, yeah, so you realize that once you get into that flow, if you cut a lot of these different um, things like doubts and fears and worries and all these negative aspects that can get in the way of you constantly moving and progressing your energy forward, then you'll be able to keep moving forward, and you'll really be able to attain all those dreams that you wanted to, right? So coming back to the example of the drummer, right? The first step could be, for example, putting money into your credit card account so that you can afford a drum, right? The first thought that might come into your brain is, oh no, uh, I don't have a drum set, or I don't have the money to buy the drum set, so now I can't become this drummer, this goal that I envisioned for myself. So what you have to do is you realize, okay, maybe I can start with a beat, right? Right? I don't know if the audio allows for that sound to come, but it's, yeah, you make a beat with your hands. You do it with your with with your body, with any parts of of your surroundings. You just start with a beat and you start getting into a rhythm, and then your brain gets used to the idea that, yeah, okay, I'm doing something towards this goal. I'm acting on it in some way. So anytime you have any impulse to do something towards a goal, any idea, you have to act on it in any incremental way that you can, regardless of how big the action is. It's just the matter is it's the the important part is to actually make that move, make that um, progression in some way, right? Then again, spirit will do the rest, right? Spirit will continue that on its own, right? It's going to come back to you the next day, and then you'll know what to do from that point on. So uh, right. So it could be anything like, doing a drum beat, writing about it, writing, saying an affirmation, and then it all comes back to you in the end, and you'll attain all the goals, and then you'll realize that, the point of life isn't just to, attain goals and do all this stuff. That's great, and it helps you, right? It kind of like controls your dopamine intake, and sets you gives you a reward, right? And you feel good after achieving it, but the idea is to always be in the flow, the movement, right? So yeah, once you do that, everything can align and you can attain all your highest dreams. And if you want uh, any uh, any examples of how to keep in flow, keep in a state of flow, and keep your energy high, I can make a video about that as well. I think I'll do that in the upcoming days. So enjoy the rest of your days and keep moving forward. Stay good, stay positive.